All right, I think we are live. So I wanted to start doing some scripting tutorials, and this is just kind of to set things off to get things started. There is a current project that I'm working on, and I am going to share with you guys some of what's going on right now. So if we take a look on, let me pull up my terminal here. 1 second. This is not the full tutorial. This is just to show you guys what I got coming up for you. It always does this lag when I do this. Okay, so it looks like you guys can see everything. I'm the one who can't see. Okay, now I can see. All right. So here's the deal. So this is a Python script. I'm going to be taking you through the full process of writing your own Python scripts. So we're going to build it up piece by piece, and this is where it's at right now. So if I get out of here and we run it, we will see okay, so we'll see here. So it has a section where it says enter user, and I can type in a user's name. Let's say Frank, and we can enter a task, doing a script. So this is basically a time logger script. So you're telling it what the user's name is, then you're telling it what the task is that the user is doing. Then when you hit enter, it passes a shell command to the shell. So pretty much from Python, there I'll show you how I did that. Basically, I'm passing the date command to the shell. So you see it says Wednesday, March 8th, and then it says timer started. So timer started, it's actually looking for user input. That's what I just did, just to pause things. So you can go ahead and do your task, you're doing your task, you're doing your task, all the while it's timing it. Then when you're done, you just hit enter, and it passes again the date variable or command to the shell. So you see now the time is 10:59:56, and it also outputs again the information you gave before. Frank is doing a script, and he spent 86.68 seconds doing it. So the way this is done, I will show you in the script itself. Just run through it really quickly. And again, I will go through this in more detail. I just wanted to get you guys a sneak peek into what's going on, what's coming up. So this is a Python script. You start off with your shebang, your hash, exclamation, or bang, then user bin env python. So that's telling it where the Python interpreter is. And then it just says print morning checks timer. So it's going to display that to the screen. That's pretty self-explanatory. Notice how in Python we put this not just in quotes, but it also in the parentheses. Now we also have import. So with Python, you have to import your modules. In other language, you'll call them perhaps classes. But there's a lot of built-in functionality where you don't have to build everything from scratch. You can actually use these modules that are already built up within your code. But to use them, you'll have to import them. So I'm importing something called time, importing something called OS. OS is what I use to pass commands to the shell. So the date command, I'm using the OS. Like if you look down here, you can see it says os.system, os.system date. So that's where I actually call the date. And then I pause right here, waiting for user input. But I didn't actually need user input. I just wanted to really do kind of a pause thing there. And then once you're done, once you hit enter, it's going to check the date again. Right? So that's all that is. Time, I'm using time to track the time. So I set start I define start as time.time. So that's basically setting it as current time, right? And then when I'm done, when you're done with the task, I then set the time again. If we scroll down here, we'll see end. We set a variable called end. End is equal to time.time. So end is equal to the current time, right? And then to see the difference in time, we print that by printing the math. The math is end time minus start, and that's going to give us our difference in time, which is going to give us elapsed time. Now, the way we're printing out the information where I print out the stuff that you ended earlier is right here. It says print user colon. So it's going to print, literally print user colon space. And then on top of that, we're going to add the variable. So it's going to print user colon space and then the variable user. User is defined as what we typed in. Let's see, where's user? Enter user. So it says enter user, print user. And we're defining whatever you type in. So after we say print enter user, we are looking for raw input or input from user. And whatever that input is, we're defining as user. So whatever you type in is going to be defined as user. Whatever raw input you send will be defined as user. So down here, when you say plus user, that's giving you user colon space plus, not literally plus, but just in addition to that, it's going to give you the variable user, which we define as with whatever the user typed in. Same thing for task. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. Only other thing I would note is notice how when we pass the date command, it's in parentheses, but also single quotes around the command itself. And that's how you do that. A lot of comments here explain to you what's happening. That's very important when you're doing scripting. You want to have a lot of comments so people can understand what's going on. Even yourself, you're not going to remember every single code that you write, and you know, in the future you might forget things. So that's very important to do. So that's really all I had today. I just want to give you guys a sneak peek into that. Stay tuned for more in detail scripting tutorials coming up right here on Fix Protocol. Buongiorno, buonanotte, adios, and ciao.